Alrighty, we are down in the field for game one. FAU in West Virginia for third place at the CCS Sidelines Sports Network Invitational Tournament presented by the Collegiate Conference Series. I'm solo for this one. Taquito will be joining me later, and Borky will be live with us later tonight for the 10 Eastern first place game between LA Tech and Grand Canyon after this. It's 4:45 left to go. FAU coming in as favorites here against West Virginia. It's FIU hoping to have a good season. The American had a rough summer. West Virginia had a really good spring and a rough summer in the Big 12. Hopefully this fall they can get their act together in the league play and have a good season here this fall and start off 2025 with a bang, as again they did get to the Big 12 semifinal 2 seasons ago and beat number 1 Central Florida in the Big 12 tournament back in the spring. Summer they had an early exit in the quarterfinal of the Big 12 tournament, missed the CCS championships. This roster still has never seen the tournament before in CCS, but they were pretty close 2 seasons ago. Hopefully this fall maybe they can get there as Duffy turned away by Mitra. FAU has not seen the tournament since season 2 of CCS, so it's been quite a long time for Florida Atlantic since they've been in the CCS championships, and in the tournament era they've never made it. Back when they made the tournament it was just 8 teams and then 12 teams in season 1 and 2, but now in a 64-team field, FAU has never seen the light of day of the CCS championships, neither has West Virginia. Both teams could be poised for a run this fall. That one good from Duffy, 246. West Virginia lead by 1, just north of the halfway mark. We at halftime here in game number 1. Both teams just within 1 here, just now joining us. Northern Illinois beat California in the 5th place game in game 5. Nebraska swept the UConn for 7th place earlier on to kick off the night. And up next, Grand Canyon and LA Tech for first after the conclusion of this series is FAU and West Virginia. Still fighting here for third. West Virginia still leading 45 seconds. Left to go here in game one. Valkyrie up north will find Duffy's 50 to wide by Valk, and now Jackson back with Igor here. West Virginia team that has been humbled in CCS. Their first season back in the spring of last 2 years ago. And this team went 0-21 in the Big 12. And 0-7 got swept in all 7 sets. Season 3 came around, this team won 1 game. Season 4 came around, and West Virginia went 2-5 in the Big 12. Season 5 came around, and the team went 5-3. Their best season yet, went to the semifinals. The Big 12 tournament. Season 6 came around, and West Virginia, I believe, finished 500 at 4-4 in the Big 12, and then lost in the quarterfinal. Now season 7, playing an 8-game schedule in the Big 12. West Virginia trying to have their best season yet. I think I got Taquito with me now. Taquito, are you here? Looks like I'm muted. Taquito is here finally. Here for game 2. Just finished game 1. Taquito, West Virginia winning 1-0 our final score.
Oh, nice. I am trying to get in here as quick as I possibly can, my friend. How you doing, though? How's the series so far?
Been interesting. Northern Illinois knocking off California in game 5, and then Nebraska swept the UConn earlier.
Oh, wow. I am surprised by that result. But, see, I mean, I guess I'm surprised in the sense that Nebraska didn't show up for that game yesterday. So them taking off their opponent in a sweep is very easy. I have finally dropped in here. Looks like we got the classic team from yesterday, Florida Atlantic, trying to best the Mountaineers here. Ooh, Skies. Nice goal number 1.
The first there for FAU, and we got to watch them go to 5 with LA Tech last night. Taquito, I think you casted that with
yes,
with Borky, and that was very fun to watch. I just got to click the buttons last night. It was pretty fun to sit back and watch.
Exactly, man, and that's the best part about it is like I said, I was actually going over with the numbers last night with Somber. Apparently, my math is a little bit off. I was 5 games too many. 35 is the actual total. Somber broke the streak yesterday with you in those 2 sweeps, so I have to take a 5-game series off. So 35 games involving myself here, and an own goal for Duffy.
It's been quite the night for own goals. Somber and I saw a couple, and there was a couple really bad ones.
That one's pretty bad. Like, not to hate on Florida Atlantic, that one is pretty rough, giving a goal over there to West Virginia. Now, I mean, obviously you want to win this game too. You're in the 3rd place match here. This is probably not exactly where you want to be if you're a team who's hunting for that 1st place spot, but you at least want to take the 3rd place match in your favor. Right now, Mountaineers are just looking to continue to push their advantage in the series. Florida Atlantic, though, got to fight back. And you mentioned last night you got to push the buttons. You did get to see Florida Atlantic play a very intense series that they ended up being the victor in to get them here to this 3rd place match.
Well, they did lose that last game tonight to LA Tech, which dropped them into this 3rd place game, but...
Oh, that is right. Yeah, sorry, they lost it. I completely forgot it was LA Tech. You're right. My bad.
They did win their 1st game. They beat shoot, who did they beat last night? I already forgot.
Hey, dude, you've had so many games this past week. I am not surprised if you forget anything. It's been a crazy week for all of us here at CCS, and I mean, obviously, non-conference play is a lot of fun, of course, and so is the Sideline Sports Invitational here. This is just so cool to see kind of a cap off here to week 1 of season 7. And you said what?
They beat Connecticut last night. That's who they beat.
Yes, they did beat Connecticut. Oh, big 50 there. Skies looking for one more. Gets the bump by Duffy. Okay, Duffy showed a little bit of aggression here, trying to keep the ball in that red half and the Florida Atlantic half. Igor has a chance to find somebody, but that pass a little too wide. Not going to be able to actually collect there. Igor almost gets completely deleted after grabbing some resources. But, I mean, for what it's worth, Mountaineers, they look pretty good right now. The Owls feel like they're hunting a lot more for these offensive opportunities compared to their opponents.
Absolutely agree. And again, shout out to to Graham and his team at Sidelines Sports Network and all the Twitter admins that make all this possible. For all these schools, it's been fun to work with the Sidelines Sports Network, and hopefully continue that partnership moving forward. But it's been a lot of fun watching this tournament happen every season.
Oh, it's awesome, dude. That's why I love getting involved. Like, Somber didn't say it on broadcast. We actually, like I said, we talked last night, and we got a chance to kind of just go over everything. And he talked about how much fun he's had so far just coming back, because obviously summer for me was a little bit absent. I was a little busy this past summer, so I didn't get to be as involved. Igor putting in a second there, putting the Mountaineers up in the lead here in game number 2. But he talked about how much fun it is just to be back. And fall season always brings so much more action, in my opinion, compared to summer. Summer's just a treat.
Absolutely is. And summer you get to watch a little bit of the new rosters for the new year, but summer got involved a little bit over the summer, and towards the latter half of the season, we did a couple of games looking on the main channels. Mitra makes it 2-all, minute 51 to go.
Florida Atlantic, just kind of like their series against their first opponent there, LA Tech. They are going quietly, and obviously LA Tech I feel probably is on par with West Virginia, maybe a bit better. I'll let you kind of weigh in on how good you think these rosters are, but oh my skies, sidewall pass to yourself on a wide open net, demo in the corner for insurance. That was a good play for Atlantic.
I don't think LA Tech is probably there's no argument that they're better than FAU and West Virginia on paper. They beat both of them yesterday. But they're also underway right now with UTEP. We'll see what that final score looks like here in a bit, as they are underway in their first conference game of the season against UTEP tonight, prior to playing Grand Canyon.
Ooh, this is. I can tell. I'm gonna try to stop talking to you too much. I can tell you're still struggling with whatever you had at the beginning of the week or the beginning of this weekend. So I see you're fighting through a lot. No way. There's a demo in the corner. Igor getting incredibly eager on the offensive side right there, helping out the Mountaineers, making sure that there's no defense on that wide open net. We have a tie game yet again, and I wonder to myself, is this actually going to swing in favor of the Owls in this moment? It's looking tough. I mean, obviously, no way. Okay, I was about to say, do we just see a dogfight worth of aggression here at each end of the pitch, or everybody going to play some solid defense? They do scramble into a good position. Oh, Mitra, no! Denied by the crossbar. We've seen that so many times this weekend.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I'm fairly almost back to good, I hope, and I'm not as limited as I was yesterday, but I'm hoping to be back good to 100% tomorrow for the podcast and casting. There's a lot of big games tomorrow, hopefully, but I am feeling a lot better. 45 seconds total left to go, and it's still 3-all. We've gotten to watch a fairly contested game.
It's been incredibly contested. Fairly, I feel like, is almost downplaying it. Oh, what a touch from Eagle. Dude, back-to-back lead-taking goals from both teams. Absolutely denied by the woodwork. These guys have to be screaming in their respective chats at what's going on. Not like this, dude. Not like this.
And an own goal to potentially end it here at Taquito. 17 seconds in West Virginia. Gonna lead us by 1. This series potentially about to be tied up. Or no, it's 2-0 for the Mountaineers here.
I was gonna say, yeah, that put them up completely in the lead, and this is where you gotta kind of start to wonder. I mean, we've seen all this aggression, we've seen all this offense. I respect Duffy for slow playing that one from the corner. It's gonna force the Owls to have to react to something. Mitra, no boost. Best they can get is a 50. Skies doesn't have anything as well. Touching the ground. And that's got to sting. 7 goals total in game number 2. 2 of them off of a Florida Atlantic own goal. And it's just, it's one of those moments where you rack your brain on where did we go wrong? What did we do wrong? What happened? And at the end of the day, I think it's just small mistakes. It's small, simple mistakes that need to be capitalized on if you're the team making them. Right now, Florida Atlantic is the team making them a little bit harder on themselves to kind of push forward in this series, but they do have flashes of brilliance where their offense can take control of the series. We just need to see them put it together.
I would, the own goals are really costing FU. It's the second one of the series. Valk Black's transfer and wait on him to get back in here in a second. As FAU, though, I mean, they play in a difficult American with obviously Wichita State and Charlotte, and hopefully in the spring North Texas will be back, hopefully, but we'll see on that. But the American's tough as it is, and West Virginia obviously plays in one of the hardest conferences in the country in the Big 12, and just had their first season over 500 for the first time in 6 seasons in the spring, so they've had it rough here in the Big 12.
Yeah, I could imagine West Virginia is not having a good time in their conference. That is incredibly stacked. It's just like the SEC when we talk about the SEC as well. Tons of good teams, and it probably goes back to program support, what they have available to them. And obviously Big 12, SEC, these guys are varsity program schools. They definitely are, some money put into it. Coaches and good facilities and all that stuff. Some of these other guys not as funded well, so they are looking, hunting for that good talent to push them forward in any leagues they decide to compete in. That's a touch there from Skies, finished by Valk, and Florida Atlantic will start us off in game number 3.
And FAU making it 1-0, and West Virginia, that was a cool story because back in season 2, this team went 0-7 in series and 0-21 in games. They did not win a single game the entire season. They were 0-21.
That's crazy.
3 seasons later, they went 5-3 and made the Big 12 semifinal. It's 2-0 here. Mitra makes it 2-0, and now they're they've progressed. They've grinded. They've gotten a lot better since they first joined the league in season 2. Now 5-6 seasons later, in season 7, this team is competing in the Big 12 rather than going 0-21 every season.
Oh yeah, no, that's a big thing. The last season I fully commentated on, season 5, I believe, I got a chance to see a couple of West Virginia games, and I was thoroughly impressed. I saw West Virginia play a very close game against Pittsburgh early on, which made me a big fan of both teams. 5. You said what?
That was a game 5.
Yes, it was. I was going to say, I casted it. It was an insane game 5 against that Pittsburgh squad, and that was the eye opener for me that I had to pay closer attention to schools. It doesn't matter if the school is well known. It doesn't matter how big they are. Anything can happen. I mean, look at Indiana Tech right now. Indiana Tech coming up. Restaurant, Velocity, Bluey, big team to pay attention to. We've got, all the teams that have played in this. We've got all the teams that have played week 1 that we've kind of seen new members slot into. Cozy P, a new member on a team doing absolutely well, making a name for themselves. So it's just, you got to pay attention. You've got to keep your eyes peeled on all these different schools. And I'm humbled in my lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That's where I love CCS for. I'm humbled in my lack of knowledge of the depth that exists in CRL.
Cozy P reference. What's up? What's good, Bapik? It's good to see you here joining us for the Sidelines Sports Rotational. It's been quite the night as Nebraska swept the UConn earlier, and California fell in Game 5 to Northern Illinois. Now here in Game 3, the Mountaineers lead by 2. As again, West Virginia just 2 seasons ago went to, they beat number 1 Central Florida in the first round of the Big 12 Conference Tournament and became the first 8 seed ever to knock off the 1 seed in the conference playoffs.
Yeah, I remember that. That was... I love your updates on Twitter, too, when you get to posting them, and I just go, man, what did I miss last night? If I get too busy and I'm not able to tune in, I'm like, what happened? It gets me eager to go back and look at a VOD. So, right now, though, lack of action here on the pitch. We haven't seen much since Florida Atlantic put 2 in. That could have been a bump on the back line. No dice on that. Jackson all alone here, having to push back. Opts for the boost. Skies off the shot. Oh, Mitra... Good angle there. Duffy with a big clear. Valk is quick, though, to keep it in the Mountaineers' half. Skies again. Oh, no shot for a teammate. That's tough. Both had to retreat. So this is... I'm wondering what's going on. Oh, that's just a great passing play from that left wing. Igor finds Jackson. Puts it home 2-1.
Minute 50, and here comes the comeback. Say it ain't so, West Virginia. 150Q Country Roads.
All right. Nason dropping bars. He is feeling good. He wasn't lying. Cutting the lead in half is important here for the Mountaineers. They're ever so close to closing this out in 3. Val, a little too early on that one, but it had to go anyways to shut it down. Mitra with a flick. potentially. It was a hearty guffaw. Come on, it was a beautiful, beautiful call. I had to get that one in there. That was absolutely wonderful. Man, this is just. There's so many things, there's so many references you can make with all these schools. Man, all right, Mitra, my bad. I'm sorry. I was going to go off on a tangent, but you're going to shut me up and keep me focused. 3-1.
This would be quite the win in paradise if FAU can pull out a reverse sweep here. But a minute 22 to go. It's not, pulling out reverses is as difficult as it is. But right now, Game 3 is going their way. A minute 22 left to go. West Virginia still trailing 2. Almost had a chance to get back to tied as Skies tossed an equalizer on a silver platter, and that shot bricked. But now they're out to a 2-goal deficit with a minute 13 to go.
This is... Okay, so with all the games that I've casted for you and all the CCS stuff with all the stats, out of like 7 or 8 series now, I've had 2 reverse sweeps. So what are the chances, right? What are the chances I get to count another one up on the record? That would be genuinely just the most insane starting season or week 1 stat I've seen or ever been a part of in any league.
Well, there's been 4 best of 7 reverse sweeps in CCS history. I've gotten to cast 3 of them. Only one
That's wild.
Only one I didn't get to do was Akron doing it to East Tennessee State 3 seasons ago, and they're on their way to their first championship in the round of 16 in the fall when they trailed East Tennessee State by 3. That was the only time I missed the BO7 reverse, but I've been thankful to get to cast 3 of them alongside Jonas.
Yeah, that is a crazy stat, and it's kind of, Pepic's in here as well. This game is all said and done, less than 10 seconds, 3-1 the scoreline. So Florida Atlantic will get themselves a win on the scoreboard. But Bepic was also putting down some insane stats about his MNL stats, or just night lights in general. One night before I joined one of those casts, and the numbers are insane, man. You guys are putting some insane work behind the scenes, on the scene, just everything you possibly can for this just beautiful burgeoning league of Rocket League we get to pay attention to. Didn't know where I was going with that. I said league twice. It's been a long day.
This is your 9th season of the series, correct?
You said what?
9th series of the season for you here, right?
Yeah, 8th. It'll be the 8th or 9th total. Yes.
You said last time you've had 8 series and all 8 have gone to Game 5. This would be 9 Game 5s in a row for you if FAU wins it here.
Yes.
Which is kind of crazy to think about, that every game we've done is just, I guess, gone to Game 5. When I want to close series, I guess I just need to come get you.
Dude, hey, look, come on, man. I also want to eat at a decent time. I also have things that I usually do before I go to bed. Man, I don't need this curse, dude. It might be a blessing and a curse. I don't know. It might be both at the same time. This is, I guess, the life of a commentator who enjoys content. And at the end of the day, that's all I want. I want good content, good series, good play from everybody involved. Florida Atlantic making me eat my words immediately on that kickoff. What in the world was that?
This seems to bounce back.
2, 3.
That's
3 whiffs.
Sky's going to make the save there, but 3 seconds. Down into Game 4 here, and this defense has to be composed if you're FAU. And get a win like this in a game that probably, honestly, won't matter all that much in the rankings at the end of all this, but who knows what season West Virginia will have, and who knows what kind of season Florida Atlantic will have in the American, but as it stands, both these two teams have never made the CCS championships before, so at the end of the day, this win might not matter all that much, but it would be nice to have and not, take a quad 3, lop, and that double no good.
Oh, that pancake too, that angle. All they had to do was squeeze it just a little bit further here. Mitra trying to meet Duffy on that one, misses it. Duffy a chance now, Igor in tow, but that was a great pinch play off the back wall. Mitra had Skies, doesn't have Skies anymore, but Valk is there. You got to remember, this is a 3v3. You delete 1, you got 2 to worry about.
Epic says these two will be playing for a national title come November, mark my words. That is an insane call, but Bevic, I'll raise her parlay to that. I'll put money at one.
No, clip it and ship it. No. said it in chat, Twitch chat is never wrong. Clip it, ship it. I will remind him for the rest of the CCS season what he has said here. It is week 1. He has already made his championship bid. We will never let him go back on this.
Epic 5 rounds of drinks on me if that's a national title game the next time I see you, brother. 105 though, off the clock here in game 4. But you know, this game, there's FAU as a second one.
Okay, so the Owls are really trying to. They're really trying to make that 5-game stat continue. I don't, dude. What have I gotten myself into? What have I done? That's all I want to know. What did I do? What did I do to deserve this? I'm happy about it. I love it, but like, man, I just got off work. Oh, big play from the back line here. Valk needs to get the ball away. Mitra, chance to 50. Jackson will find a waterfall. This is going to be tough. Okay, they're trying their best to defend. Florida Atlantic somehow get away with murder on the back line. How did they not get scored on there?
And it's scrappy defense. And Somber and I were here earlier and watching California play NAU. That series into Game 5, that was a really entertaining series. But there was a lot of own going, which was a little crazy to watch how often it was happening. And these defenses have just crumbled. And the own goals are about as poetic as a normal goal. And you know, it's not like it's on purpose, but just the way it happens is so funny sometimes.
Oh, I thought that was okay. The angle that we caught that from before the camera switched it over, I thought Valk had the craziest sidewall double. I thought that had so much sauce on it. I thought they were going to be able to sink that one through. No, but they're playing again scrappy defense here at the back line. Like you said, they are able to at least keep themselves alive and keep that 1-goal lead in their favor. However, the Mountaineers looking very hungry for that second goal. We saw in just the previous game, or how goals can just get racked. Excuse me, not the previous game, game 2. How goals can rack up completely quickly in a pressure situation. That one's scary, but a good team pinch. We'll see it out to the mid, just barely. I would like to see, though, the Mountaineers try to play better on the push up. They have an upfield play here in a moment. Jackson looking for that, but the finisher there in the corner. Igor, tie us up.
A minute 52. Plenty of time still to go. Game 4, West Virginia trying to stay alive and put this game away.
So everybody, okay, I'll address this when we're not on stream, but yeah, what you two are talking about in the chat, I am happy to see that. I'm happy to see more games coming out and being hype, especially from some of the old RLCS players, or not RLCS, Rocket League players here. They're associated with your BLCS or your CCS. So, but tie game. We were in the lead for 2.5 minutes or so, I think, on the side of Florida Atlantic. But we have less than 90 seconds. Do you think the Mountaineers can close it out finally, or do you think we do game 5? What you got, Nation?
I mean, it's tied right now. I think FAU is turned the sides towards their favor. I think we're going to see a game 5. I honestly kind of do, but I wouldn't be shocked if West Virginia put it away here. One bad defensive mishap and it's over if FAU crumble. But nonetheless, it's been quite the entertaining series so far outside of all the ongoing.
It has really been entertaining. It's a little push out. No approaching member Mitra is able to get there in time. I was a little worried, but that play off the back line, good for them. Igor, though, is going to meet this in the mid. Not a great touch. Kind of errant on the side. They didn't get as much power as they were looking for. And Duffy is going to put that one to bed. They take the lead. A high passing shot from the midfield stripe. Duffy to close it on home. That is what we like to see. 36 seconds here for Florida Atlantic to answer back.
36 seconds left to go here, and FAU a lead trailing by 1 as West Virginia trying to secure third place with the win here. Taquito, they're 30 seconds away from just that. That's now the Owls in desperation need one last heave here.
Oh, and I think waiting on that play would have been much better than sending it all the way up the pitch, but one last strong push, I believe, is what the Owls have in them. and this will be all but said and done. They have to play it well. Jackson to cut this one off quickly. A couple of touches here. Duffy is there as well. Skies is a... And that one inks off the posts. There it is. Okay, it's dropping. The streak is finally ended, Nation. It is finally done. We got 9 series in, and I no longer have a game 5.
Can I get an F in the chat, please, for that one? But nonetheless, West Virginia going to Q Country Roads and pick up a big win here back, and they'll head back to Morgantown in the city known as almost heaven. Here as West Virginia gets their season back to 2-1 on the year of the win over FAU.
I would like to see, man, I want them to run this again. I know that they're not in the same conference, but I would be excited to see this one run back. I think that it might be a different series if we don't see those 2 own goals we saw in game 2. But for what it's worth, that's not the case. West Virginia taking that third placing here in the Sideline Sports Invitational. We got one more series ahead of us, guys. I think, I was going to say Pepe because he's in the chat. I'm looking at me like all over the place. I think Nation would love a break for a quick second. So let's do that. Let's get this next match set up and take a 5-minute. How about that?
We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, first place game at 10 Eastern, LA Tech take on Grand Canyon. We'll see you guys after the break.